Today we're gonna go over the mindset you need to have in order to get amazing at commercial cleaning and door knocking. My name is Peter Boland and I've closed over $50 million in commercial cleaning contracts, and I'm just here to tell you how we did it. Okay, so why is the mindset important? Why not just show you how to do the process and then you go and do it? It's really because most people fail simply because the mindset aspect of it. They give up because they don't think it's working. They underestimate the amount of time, energy, and effort it's gonna take to do something. And it always takes longer, costs more than you're possibly going to expect. So this video right here is showing you how to have the mindset and do the steps in order to become very, very successful at it. So the first step on this is just commit. And commit means just elimination of all other options. Think of this in this way. When you get married or you have a girlfriend, you are committed to the degree at which you cut off all other women. If you still have women in your life, people would consider you not committed as a partner. So commitment is really just cutting off all other options, and this is going to be the thing you're going to get great at. The second part of commitment is when you're new to something, everybody underestimates the amount of time, energy, and effort it takes to get something done. What they do is, oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to figure this out in 2-3 weeks. When really it takes 10 times that. So you're talking about like 20 to 30 weeks it's gonna take you to get proficient at it. And the way you speed that time up is by doing more repetitions early on. I was sitting down for lunch with a guy the other day, and what he was telling me was he was committed to door knocking and cold calling, and he already started. Didn't have a ton of money, and unless you have a ton of money, there's no point in investing in Google Ads, SEO, and these other things. $250, $500 a month isn't gonna get you anywhere. It's not gonna move the needle for you at all. Because he had no money, he had to invest time and energy. So cold calling and door knocking is the best way to do it because you're just expending your own effort and your own time to do it. So he told me he was already doing it and he was committed to doing it, but he hasn't seen any results yet. I asked him how long he's been doing it for. He said 2 weeks. And I asked him how many times he was cold calling or door knocking. And he said he's done a total of 60 calls over 2 weeks. And he's like, it doesn't work. And I'm like, well, how many doors have you door knocked? And he's like, I've door knocked maybe a little bit more than 10. And this is the other part of commitment. It's you have to be committed to doing the thing again and again and again. If you look at pro basketball players, anybody who plays pro sports, they practice more than they play. So they spend more hours a week practicing something than they do actually playing the game. They're just getting ready to play the game. And what people think they can do in business when learning a new skill set like cold calling or door knocking is that they can sit at home, practice a script for a little bit, and then go out there, knock 15 doors, and then be a pro, and they think they can get a whole bunch of business from it. And it's just not the way it works. You have to do this thing every day, again and again and again. I tell people knock 500 doors, do 500 phone calls. And I'm not saying you're gonna be great at it, but do 100 phone calls a day, every single day for 5 days. And then starting next week, do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. And then over the first few months, you're gonna see this huge spike in the ability to get through the gatekeeper, ask for the appointment, get the appointment, overcome objections. And because of that, you're gonna go from having to do 500 phone calls to get one appointment to doing 100 to 150 to get a really good appointment. So it's about frequency over time. Don't try to do 2 to 3 a day. It's not enough to learn. You have to be committed to this long term. So once you've fully committed to this, to doing it for a long time, again, I'm talking half a year, cold calling or door knocking, that's how you're gonna get great, by doing high frequencies every single day. The next stage you need is foundations. And really what foundations is you are learning the baseline foundation of how to do that skill set. Think if you're learning guitar, okay? You commit to it and then you learn foundations. So you start paying people for lessons, you start going online and learning the basics of what a chord is, what a scale is. You are building out the foundations to learn it, so you know how to do it. And the easiest way to do that with cold calling and door knocking is to pay somebody to teach you that's done it before. So you just take their exact process and then you duplicate it for your business. You change nothing until you're doing it 100% the way he's done it and you know the ins and outs. So you learn the foundations from it. You practice the script on your own. You overcome objections on your own. You understand the foundations and you practice it. And again, this should not take 2-3 months to practice it. You should be able to get the foundations and in a few days have a baseline of how to go out and do it. Okay, so you need foundations. Again, the guy I was coaching the other day just started going out and doing it, and he couldn't figure out why he wasn't getting past a gatekeeper. He couldn't figure out why all the buildings he was door knocking on already had cleaning staff that was managed by the building. He didn't know he was in the wrong areas. So he knew nothing. He just started taking low amounts of action and then determined that it doesn't work. And that's what happens if you don't have the foundations of where to go, how to say it, what it looks like, so you can overcome it. So the next stage is focus. And what focus means is all you're doing is eliminating every other thing that you have to do. Because cold calling and door knocking is a skill set that takes a lot of mental strength to go do because it's grueling to do, any single time you have something else to do, paperwork, oh, maybe I'll go to this event, oh, I'll watch this YouTube video, maybe it'll give me a piece of information that I don't already have that it will help me do it. Anytime you have anything else to do, you are going to gravitate towards doing that. So you need to eliminate all those things, chunk your time, turn off every single notification, nobody can get a hold of you, and then you just go do it for that length of time for whatever it takes you to do, like 100 door knocks or 100 cold calls. That's what focus is. In order to focus, you have to get rid of all the distractions, and there are a lot of distractions nowadays. Okay, so the next step is action, and this is just where you're going out and breaking things. If you're door knocking, you're going to an area that you've learned that's a really good area. If you're cold calling, you have your list all ready to go and now you're just picking up the phone. The key here is to just do it. Get over the nerves, go in there, say your script, get hung up on, get rejected, get told horrible things, leave the building, or hang the phone up when the call's done and just go to the next one. If you stop after you make a cold call and you get cut off and hung up on, and then you sit back and you think and you try to evaluate it and you wonder what you're gonna do next and why did that happen, it makes making the next call extremely hard. So you're just gonna keep it going without any time in between, so that fear of doing it completely goes away. That's what you need. You have to get rid of that fear and you just have to start doing it at the beginning, the 100 a day, and not thinking about something else that you want to be doing in between it. You just go back to back to back. That is what builds the skill set up, and that's what gets rid of the fear. Because at the beginning, it's all fear-based. Well, what happens if they say this and I don't know what to say? Like, it's gonna happen. So just do it anyway. It doesn't matter. Just get rid of the fear by doing it. That's how you conquer fear. You just do the thing. And then eventually you become an expert at it and you don't even know why you would have been scared about it. So at the end of the day, after you've done all your phone calls, after you've done all your door knocks, you're gonna sit back and you're gonna evaluate. You're gonna evaluate where you got cut off. You're gonna evaluate what people said to you where you didn't have an objection to overcome and you got stammered at, where you stumbled. You're gonna sit back and figure out where you're getting blocked. Are you getting blocked with the gatekeeper, right? Are you getting blocked with this specific objection? And you are going to build a script to overcome that. And then you're gonna practice that script, and then you're gonna do it again the next day. And then you're gonna find that either A, it works or it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, you're gonna try something else. And if it does work, then you're gonna do that, and every single day you're gonna get further through the process to the point where you get an appointment. This is the stage where people miss when they start doing it. They just start taking tons of action and then they're not getting anywhere. They're getting cut off at the same places. They're getting rejected at the same places, but then they just keep doing it. They don't stop and evaluate it. So a really good thing for cold calling to evaluate is wherever you get cut off on your script, just put a tick on it. And at the end of the day, where you have all your ticks on that script, that is where you need to work at getting past. There's something you're saying or doing right there that is not getting you past it. You do the exact same thing for door knocking. You get rejected at the same spot. They give you a business card. You leave there, you write on the business card, gatekeeper stop me. You get all your business cards with it. You just keep writing where you get cut off. And then you go, okay, I need to learn how to get past the gatekeeper. And then you practice that area so you can get past the gatekeeper to the decision maker. You have to evaluate what you're doing wrong, correct it, and then go and try to do it the next day to see if it gets you further past it. If it doesn't, then try something different. You have to evaluate it and not just keep doing the same thing again and again and again. That is literally the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing and hoping for a different result. Number 6 is repeat successful actions. Once you find something works, keep doing it. Don't stop it. The amount of people I see that get proficient at door knocking and then start getting a couple appointments and then start getting a couple deals and then they completely stop door knocking because they have to go out and do all these other things and get the supplies now and find the cleaners and go to the building and train them or clean the building. And then they completely dip off of door knocking. So their company looks like this. Oh, I got 4 contracts. I got 0. I got 4 contracts. I got 0 next month. And it's just up, down, up, down. You have to keep doing the skill of door knocking to make your company grow slowly over time. And then you just have to work extra time at night until you can afford a manager or until you can afford somebody to go and train them for you. But do not stop doing it. It makes it that much harder to get it started again. So make sure you're repeating the successful actions of it. Next one is time. And we kind of covered this a little bit at the beginning. Like, people underestimate how long it takes in order to do something. So they try to do it for 2 weeks and then they're like, oh, it doesn't work. You just have to be committed to this for a very, very, very long time. What makes things hard isn't the complexity, it's just the consistency. People just don't want to be consistent to learn the skill set. And then because of that, they never learn it. Everybody wants to learn the one magical thing that if I do this one thing, I'm going to have a $10 million business. But the truth of the matter is that one thing usually has 50, 100, 500 little things that makes it the one thing. So when I was out for lunch the other day with this guy, he kept asking me, what's the one thing I say in a sales process that's going to get me these deals? And there's not one thing. It's the whole process that equals getting the deals. He kept trying to come up with gimmicks. Well, you know, if I give 10% of my net profit away to these charities or a charity that they like, or to this underprivileged kid program, that should really make sure that people move forward with me and not other people. That's what's going to work. I mean, it's a great concept, but it's not the one thing that's going to work. It's going to be that thing plus door knocking correctly, introducing yourself to the person, getting the card, following up, having an email sequence, coming back the next day to try to talk to them to see if you can get through to them, right? Then it's getting the appointment, and then it's pre-pressing the appointment to make sure you have all the data correctly and qualifying them. Then it's doing the walkthrough right. It's sitting down in their office, meeting them correctly. It's trying to close on the call. It's solving their problem. It's setting a follow-up, coming back on the follow-up, trying to close again, doing something nice for them, having TOMA campaigns in between the time where you're not following up with them, so they're always top of mind. It's all these things that equal a deal. It's not just one thing. And people get so caught up with this one thing. And it just takes time in figuring out what are all the little things that work. Oh, I tweaked this one thing and I got a minute further in my script. I tweaked this one thing and I got them to overcome the objection. So it's a bunch of little things that equal the one thing that works. All those little things equal cold calling working and sales. Next thing is, like I said before, skill gets built through repetition, not wanting it. The amount of time I see people sit back and waste on learning, watching YouTube videos for months on end, not even practicing the script, wondering if they could do it this way, but never actually taking the action is unbelievable. I've met with people for coaching and we'll have a coaching call, we'll set out the steps that he needs to do, we'll come back a month later and he's still trying to learn the steps in a month. And the steps was like a one-page script and just going out to this one area of the city. He's like, I need it to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. You have to do it in order to make it perfect. Perfection comes over time. And even when you think you're perfect, there's a new level above and beyond that. When you start, you're gonna suck. That's just that. And people hate doing things that they suck at. But the sucking is where you get good. So at the beginning, people are gonna make fun of you for it. And then eventually over time, they're gonna ask you how you got so good at it. But it's only because you were comfortable in sucking at the beginning and not knowing what you were doing to the point where you can get to where you want it to be. Sucking is just part of it. And it takes a long time of sucking in order to get good at it. So don't worry about sucking. Worry about how much money you're gonna make later on when you figure out this skill. Okay, so there's 4 stages to learning here that is gonna take you time. There's unconscious incompetence. This means you're gonna get into it, you're gonna get totally committed, you are excited, good to go, you have no clue how hard it's gonna be, there is just nothing but excitement, thinking about the future and how much money you're gonna make. This happens a lot of the time when people get into the janitorial business. They think they're gonna make tons of money, they're so excited about it, and then the next stage kicks in. And the next stage is conscious incompetence. No way. Conscious incompetence. This means you have an awareness now of how hard it's going to be. You are conscious of the fact that you are completely incompetent in doing this. Doesn't matter if it's starting your janitorial business, cold calling, or door knocking. You now know how hard it's going to be. And then people do this for a while, and then just when they're about to learn, they go, oh, this is too hard, I don't want to do it anymore. And then they quit and they go and try something else. This is how you see people who are constantly starting different businesses. It's because they hit this valley here where they don't know how to get past it and they don't want to push through to the other side, which is conscious competence. Once you're conscious competent, you are aware that you don't know everything, but you are getting better at it. You're conscious and you're competent at it. So you're starting to get a little bit better. You're starting to see some results from it. And this is the area where you need to get to. You have to go through this valley of despair where everybody hits and they just don't push through to the other side. And how you push through the other side is you just keep doing it, evaluating and getting a little bit better every day. And then over 6 months to a year, you're bringing in 4 to 8 new contracts. You're training salespeople because your company's growing. This is the point where you need to get to. And eventually, if you keep going, you're going to be unconsciously competent. You are going to know so much about cold calling and door knocking that you've probably forgot more than most people know about it, because it's just so natural to you to come and do it. And this is where the big money comes in. This is where you can start training giant teams, having appointment setters, because you're so good at it, you can actually train other people and get the same result from them that you would do. So do not get stuck in that valley of despair. Don't get stuck in conscious incompetence. because it's going to get harder before it gets easier, and you just have to commit to doing it long times, every single day, having the focus and evaluating it and redoing it. Things that are hard, like cold calling and door knocking, is what makes them worth it, because nobody else is willing to do it. They don't want to. It's too difficult. They all want that one easy solution to get thousands of clients and not have to do anything. So this skill that you're going to build, which is cold calling and door knocking, is going to be a skill that you can base the whole foundation of your company on, and you can scale it and grow it. It's going to be hard, but just know that when things are hard, it means nobody else is really willing to do it. So it gives you an advantage in your business. Now, if you want help in building out these scripts, doing door knocking, things like that, please click the link above for a 15-minute free coaching call. We can sit back to see where we can assist you, help you out. Again, currently right now, we have 20 appointment setters. I door knocked for years, and I know exactly how to do this, and I am completely and utterly unconsciously competent about it. Our appointment setters help generate over 160 leads right now every single month for our team, and we're closing about $40,000 a month off of that. So if you want help from somebody that's an expert, just click the link above. And if you just want more free content like this, like and subscribe. Okay, thank you.